So you work with a lot of girls, right?
Yes.
Empowering them. And, I know a lot of your projects are around giving them opportunities and bringing them forward. Talk to me about some of these favorite projects of yours and how you build that, army of women and empower them with you.
Okay, so I think the first one is probably from a very long time ago. That was when I was at uni still, and we started something called Women in Physics. So one problem the university was facing is, even though it was Oxford University where they get thousands and thousands of applications, is that they don't have a lot of girls who apply for physics. And then we were wondering why. And they kept bringing in a lot of schools, getting them to come look around the labs and everything. Then I was like, why don't we just ask the girls, that are coming, why are you not tempted to apply?
Mm.
And they were like, but there's not one girl in sight in the labs. So we can't ask anybody anything. So that's when we decided, okay, how about we do a special day where we call in all of the girls only school, bring them in, show all the women professors in physics, show all the PhD students who are female, bring them all in for like a Q&A. And that room was not quiet at all. Everyone was just asking questions over question after question. And that year, the acceptance rate became almost 50-50 for girls and boys, which was a huge accomplishment for the university.
Impact you created,
Yeah,
right?
so it's just about showing, it's not even doing anything else. And the people are there. It's just that we didn't think actively of showcasing them. So that's definitely one that's really close to my heart.
Giving those girls the opportunity to come in, see what in reality it looks like, and you can see how many of them applied after
Yeah.
that. Brilliant. Congratulations.
Thank
I
you.
also would like to know about this Project Access for Refugees. What exactly is that?
Yeah, so that was a little bit in a different avenue. So Project Access itself, it's a huge charity organization that exists across the world. And what they do is try to support kids who are in school who have technically they are not from backgrounds who are very well represented in universities. And they have very small niche teams, for example, one that would help kids in India, kids in Africa, and it would just be very geographic centric. And I was working with them just helping girls. And then we were thinking one day, one of the students who applied was a girl and she was of refugee background, but in the UK. And when I was speaking to her, she was like, yeah, I technically live in the UK, I have residency, but if I apply to university, I have to pay international student fees. And obviously they're refugees, so they don't have the abilities for this. And she was saying there are no scholarships or anything that are specific to her case. And that's when the idea started. Then I spun out Project Access for Refugees, and we started by helping a little pilot group of like 11 students who are in the UK from refugee backgrounds and tried to get them in. And we started fundraising to see if we can get scholarships for them. And eventually the university absorbed this. So now the university gives one sponsored seat for a
Wow.
refugee
Brilliant.
every year.
Yes.
Yeah. And also Stormzy got involved. So it was just a whole thing.
So, I've noticed you do a lot of work with the mission to raise awareness, whether it's with girls, whether it's with refugees. How do you get the energy?
I think for me, going back to my personal story, when I realized that I became the first girl from Oxford and to go to Oxford and Cambridge from Mauritius, it really did not sit well with me because I thought, how? It's so late. Like, there must have been other people who were smarter than me who could have done it better. But then I became very aware of what is privilege, what are different access opportunities that people have.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just became, a bit of a mission. I can't explain why it's my mission, but I felt very strongly about it. And then it just really drives my day. And that's the thing, like I've done all types of jobs. I've worked in consulting, I've worked in tech startups, I've worked in media company. I'm a content creator myself. But the one thing that drives me is when I am bouncing off energy of people around me and I can see the impact of my work. And that's one reason I struggle with consulting is when I don't see the impact immediately of my work. I need to be able to see tangible, and it doesn't need to be numbers. It's just the quality. If even one person tells me that their life has been impacted for the better, that's good enough for me. And that's what drives me.